What is climate change?
Climate change is all around us and is caused by simple everyday tasks that we rely on. There's a developing solution, but in order to balance out the bad with the good, it's going to take a lot of work over a long period of time.
One effect of climate change is global warming, and global warming has several effects on the environment. Rise in sea level, an effect of global warming, has dramatically increased the likelihood of flooding in New York City. If New York City, a global hub of business, arts, culture, transportation, and education, were to flood, society would be in a massive decline.
Sea level has been rising and has been a huge issue ever since the last ice age. Over the past 20 years, sea level increases are 70% more than the average rate for the previous century. This is all caused by the greenhouse effect.
The greenhouse effect starts with the sun. Solar radiation from the sun reaches the Earth's atmosphere, but some of it is reflected back into space.
The rest of the sun's energy is absorbed by the land and the oceans, naturally heating the Earth. The remainder of heat radiates from the Earth back towards space. Some of this heat, however, is trapped by the natural balance of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, heating the Earth more, but in a healthy way. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels, agriculture and land clearing are upsetting the natural balance of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
This excess greenhouse gas is trapping extra heat and causing the Earth's temperature to rise unnaturally.
Carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, is trapping more heat on the planet. As it does this, the oceans get warmer and expand in volume.
New York City is on a coastline, which is going to cause a major threat to the city in years to come. New York City's transportation system includes buses, railways, ferries, and subways. The emissions from these modes of transportation is contributing to the buildup of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, which increases the threat of further sea level rise.
Transportation recently has accounted for 24% of the greenhouse gas emissions in our atmosphere. New Yorkers trying to decrease emissions have adopted environmentally safe energy by using alternative fuel and fuel-efficient vehicles. Despite all the efforts made to decrease the amount of emissions, New York City's transportation emissions are still causing a threat to the environment. Transit use continues to increase, which leads to an increase of greenhouse gas emissions from transit-related sources.
Low carbon fuels, new and improved vehicle technologies, strategies to reduce the number of vehicle miles traveled, and operating vehicles more efficiently are all realistic ideas to reducing greenhouse gases from transportation.
Other solutions consist of cutting back on motor vehicle exhaust, industrial emissions, and chemical solvents, and cutting back on anything that creates smoke or soot that could be released into our atmosphere.
The simplest solution remains simply to burn fewer fossil fuels, but at this point, it's extremely unlikely that we are able to stop the rise of sea level altogether.
In conclusion, there is no certain way to stop this problem. There are only ways to slow it down. Brought to you by Shutterstock.
What is climate change?
Nope.